you shouldn't be treated that way either. You should just go at them with everything you got, because that's what it's going to take to walk out of New York City with $3 million in your pocket, which, by the way, you'd have to have a very big pocket for that.
Take a look there. Benji Fishy has been showing up.
I told him to play to the crowd. I said, play to the crowd. Have some fun with me.
Yeah, good to see him smiling. You know, we were there in the warm-up games. He was a little timid, but Benji, loosen up, buddy. There goes Mr. Savage. And the rest of our competitors, Creo, Kinstar, Vivid, of course. This is a big moment for everyone here. Game 3's close.
And it must be cool as well to see you guys. Give him a round of applause. He waved to everybody. He waved to everybody. You know, that's not bad. All right, so here we go, folks. It's now time to jump into game number 3 here for the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition. The countdown has begun. The players are loaded up in the battle bus. This is it, all on the line. Let's see who will take away another victory royale, or will we see one of our 2 winners get back-to-back wins, get double wins? That will be massive for them. Oh man, I'm excited, Monster.
And so far, Aqua has been the only player to prove that he can win on a stage of this magnitude. But just to give you guys a little context on the bus here, this is a bus coming from the south to the north side. So all of your competitors are going to get, yes, a fair split at the map here. And that's exactly what you like to see. You want everyone to have a fair shot at the map. So let's go and see as Skype is looking to land here. We saw Skype win that last game.
Yep.
It's just outside of Pleasant Park. He's probably playing for some ballers here in our top 10 over on the left-hand side here. Golden Boy, Booga, King, Commandment, Psalm, one of our competitive veterans doing so great right here. Even with that 1 win, though, Sky is still in 6th place.
Yeah, it's wild to think about that. That's what it took for him to be able to climb up into the top 10. Only 2 eliminations to his name, currently standing. But we're going to keep eyes for the time being here as we head on over to Junk Junction. There's a hot spot there as well.
We have talked to some players about landing for hot spots.
I actually just got word from production in the back. King has been eliminated off spawn.
Wow, that's huge. That's going to be a real big setback. We've seen players like Zayt and Saf really fall behind yesterday off of 1 game not going their way.
That is rough, man. That is certainly not going to be pretty for him. But hey, you have 3 more games remaining. You just got to shake that one off. Moving on, though, we're checking out the action at hand here. You're going to have Tuzel pushed right in. He's going to make him pay. That's going to be an elimination on to Fledemoys. Well done. Number 1 on the board.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't trust myself with that Magnum, but he gets right up on him and hits him in the chest. Here now with Crew.
That was the shot. Oh, Crew, no chill. Right on the sky platform, too.
That was how King was taken out. Couldn't even land safely. Got pinched right out the sky. That's rough.
Because there's nothing you can do. You're in a glider state. You're just floating down. You're hoping that no one's looking right at you. The players at this point, they're going to go for those shots, those open opportunities. Then you got Tuzi, who had just picked up an elimination earlier on. The circle is going to be over in the ice biome, so by the Polar Peak, Frosty Flights area, and it's also going to be within Pleasant Park as well. So the eastern part of the map, they're going to have to worry about moving on over to the safe zone. Now we're going to be looking at a crowd favorite here. We got Tfue.
Yeah,
Tfue had the best run so far.
He's been playing the blocks. He's been getting out of the block successfully. It's actually Clipnode who's been landing here from the Brazilian region. Again, known for landing on a weapon and pushing straight into whoever's at the block. But Tfue has successfully defended himself. Even in the warm-up games, T was winning all of the early game engagements. And, you know, shout out to Clip. He actually changed his strategy.
Clip went for a shot there.
Yeah, but Clipnode stopped pushing, though. He's not using the same strategy. He's actually adopted so far. But let's see what Tfue can do in these moments. He's chucking some perfect grenades across.
Yeah, in game 1, Clipnode ended up getting everything that he needed and then disengaged out of the block, whereas Tfue took a little bit more time to loot up, get as much as he possibly can. Clipnode from the Brazilian region here, who it's a possibility that he can take him out, but it's going to be very challenging.
And maybe it was just the difference in loadout. Maybe before he didn't have exactly what he needed. Now we can kind of peek into his loadout here. This is a very strong loadout. He's got everything he needs to stick around and take this battle. And that's why you see him playing with such confidence now. And this could just be his game.
And it was also admirable of him as well. You know, qualified week 9, last chance to do so. Argentinian player as well. Then you got Takamura now. Sees a player right in front of him. Happy Hamlet is where this fight's going to be taking place. As Clarity G really made it to the end game in game 2. Had high ground there for a moment. Thought he could have pulled that one off. Mr. Savage has eyes on Clarity G. Does put the pressure on him. Now Clarity's going to have to deal with a player that's behind and in front of him. So just shadow bombs on out of there. He's going to have another one to use as well in case he needs to pop it. But it doesn't seem like anyone's going to be paying any attention to him for right now.
There's over 6 players landing at Happy Hamlet. But we're jumping right into this battle right here. Unknown Army, who has had the time to prove to the world that he is here to bring the heat. Early on in our competitive days, Unknown Army was known. Take over, Golden.
This is it, man. Unknown Army, one of our first controller players. Actually, he was our first controller player to qualify for the Fortnite World Cup. Perhaps this is going to be the opportunity that he was looking for, Monster. Put himself on this stage, get a big opportunity. Things have slowed down here for a moment. He's looking to overtake that roof. If he can get possession of that, head it on out. That's Commandment. Commandment's going to be sitting at the top 5 if I'm correct currently. Good fight here between 2 quality players.
It's not a battle he wants to lose. There's lots to prove here. Unknown Army, one of the few controller players in it. We saw Wolfies have a big day yesterday. That wall's his. He's got the aggro. The last one is not, though.
He's charging right in, and Commandment's going to have to get out of there. Didn't want to deal with that player. He knew the Unknown Army just had that beat on him. Wisely enough, and look at the health there. That's why Commandment does not want to go for that fight. He's going to be in dire straits right now, as Unknown Army does have the life lead.
He's just taking all of these platforms, too. He's gaining control slowly but surely. Nice little peek right there. He goes for the staircase first. So clean.
Doing this all with a controller. You know we have millions of players that play on controller at home, and he goes in, does apply white damage. One more, that's gonna do it. Commandment was in 3rd place, and Unknown Army now made him put in the place that he wanted him to. Dominant.
And a little taunt to throw some salt on the wound right there. Now hopping to the other side of the map, we have Blaster, who's looking for a vehicle. He does have a baller. And his main priority right now is metal and more loot.
Let's take a look here. We got Martine. He's got eyes on a target. Also using his Sky Stalker skin. One of my personal favorites. Charges forward with that drum gun. Close range, but no! It was Low Boom who gives him the hands there. Fun fact, Christian, our boy from Fortnite VR Live, told me look out for Low Boom. Someone to definitely take eyes on. They did eliminate one another, though. So Boom, not in this one. Maybe you can find some better luck in games 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, that is the risk you take when you jump into someone's box here in the Fortnite world. Leshy, another controller player, bringing it back to the good old nostalgic Tilted Towers for that close-range PvP. He's going to get shot a few times right there, but still keeping his cool. He has plenty of extra shields and mobility. Shockwaves are going to be great for maneuvering around this congested area. That's what it is. 4 players in Neo tilted right now. You have to be careful.
This is a controller battle, actually.
We'll see who can best one another here. As Leshy's probably looking to take this wall. All right, he's going to break into the building now. Get that high ground over his opponent. Astonis is just waiting, not making a sound here, seeing if he can bait Leshy into a trap play. Let's see. He's going to fall for it. Will he make a mistake? And that's really what it is, right, Golden?
Yeah, it is. When players are on that stage here in the audience, the crowd, everyone cheering, there's obviously going to be that added pressure. We talked with a few of the players before the game started today. The number one thing that I think everyone brought up to me was just the volume, right? The sheer presence of where we are. Some of them even went as far as to say, yeah, I don't think I'm going to look up at all. I think I'm just going to focus on the screen. That's what I know. No reason for me to try and go above and beyond anything else, right? Sometimes the moment can take you away.
You can see both points of POVs right here, both points of views.
Yeah.
They're looking to take any walls that they can just to gain control, have a little bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, this is basically like the Fortnite equivalent of an arm wrestling match right now. Maybe for some of our parents who are joining us here for the first time, haven't watched Fortnite before. They're really just struggling to try and get positioning over the other player. That is the struggle that they're wrestling with here. See, use wrestling again. Worked out well that time.
All right, Lesh this time has decided to commit. He is now down face to face. There's nowhere Astonish can run. He goes into it.
Oh,
lands
man.
the 2-shot. And that's the little tactic right there. If there's a ramp in front of the wall, you have to recognize you are in big danger because there's a nifty little trick to get you in that box.
Another one of my favorite players here. You got Legidian. He's going to be in a fight right now. Moves around the side, loses the high ground. Oh, man. That is rough. Legidian not having the best games at this point in time.
Pizza's placed 8th on average when he qualified in the online opens. On average, across every game he loaded into. That's very high for placement. And now he's picking up elims. Unfortunately, like we said here, Legidian just not really connecting the dots today, but it's not over yet. We're only halfway through this competition here.
There's Lechi who has to get out of there. Whew, that could have been very dangerous, but gets an elimination on Kinstar. A massive elim here for Lechi, who's sitting right now at 2 elims currently in this battle at Neo Tilted.
Representing for all the controller players across the world, Lechi, very dangerous. It's going to be a huge upset right there.
And you just get close range with a player like Lechi, and they'll punish you, right? When you have the controller, you have that little bit of the ability to just L-trigger. You're going to have, and I know some people are going to be like, oh, L-trigger, low, whatever. But the reality is, right, you got the full use of your arm. They have the use of your thumbs. But when you push in for there, you just don't want to box with them inside of that. It's very rough to deal with.
Maybe Ruck said it best, you know, just the age difference. Lechi's 15, you know, could just be a little faster than Kinstar here.
Yeah, I know. When I was 15, I was nowhere near as good as he was with a controller. So, and I competed for a very long time. Got Crew. Was just in this fight here for the moment. Does get ownership of the wall because that player does disengage above him, and he hears that movement all around. You also get an eye on the bottom right of your screen. You can see the mini map where players are going to be located. The player we're typically on is going to be that white triangle, but that blue triangle, that other player goes right in for the fight, is going to knock down the shield just a little bit there. He's going to have minis to be able to top himself back up.
This is very intense here, going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shockwave. Yeah, you don't want to go for that fight. Shockwaves are so important. Players saving them for that late game. And in some cases, they'll just use it, disengage. You don't want to take a fight. There's no reason for you to do so. A lot of players playing cautiously, as they should, with what's on the line here. But Crew, oh, he marches forward. That's number 2 for Crew.
You can see the excitement there. Nice little smirking grin on his face. He throws a peace sign to the crowd when he takes that player Lucky right out. This Happy Hamlet area is so dangerous to rotate through. You have players like Mr. Savage. Now we see Left Eye and Kurtz. Left Eye was responsible, again, for a big upset in the last game, taking out the likes of some huge names towards the end game. But Kurtz here with a heavy sniper. Can he open up a base here and follow up with that infantry rifle? So he's coming up, just getting his little peek on right here.
I think Ninja yesterday had talked about the infantry rifle, how good that weapon is, and it truly, I mean, the accuracy that you get out of it is absurd. It's something that if you pick it up and you know how to use it, you'll be deadly out there in the field, which he has done a lot of times, Ninja, which is why he likes that weapon so much, and I would understand why a lot of our players will go for that as well. When you have the option to, why not? If you got that comfortability with it. Then you got Left Eye. 2 eliminations currently. Has 2 shockwave nades.
And you know, you got to give some respect to Left Eye, who completely left his previous job 6 months ago to fully focus in on competitive Fortnite. And he found himself at the Fortnite World Cup stage. I don't think it gets any better than that. That is a dream story here.
Yeah, in competitive gaming, you take those risks if you want it so badly. If you want it more than you have to breathe, you just go for that moment. You never know what's going to happen. This could very well be a lot of the people in this arena next year playing on that stage. Courage did say that they had the budget, so I'm just going along with what he said. You know?
All right, but here we have
Tfue.
Tfue Playing his classic high ground center map, more or less. He does have a lead for the next zone.
Yep, movement options for him, which in the last game he had the shadow bombs. Didn't really pan out for him because King, very thirsty, went for just all the water he could possibly get out of that one. And I say he certainly was quenched in his thirst. But then Tfue now, this is, sometimes you're flying and then you just become a magnet, and that is unfortunate.
It's Clarity G who picks up Tfue. Unfortunately, right there with one wall open from behind him.
That's
not
so
placed
difficult.
down, unfortunately.
That's so difficult. There are times you fly into the sky and then the entire server just looks right at you.
It's all about timing in Fortnite here, but that's the risk you take. So now looking at Link here. Link putting some pressure up above. Remember, Storm Surge is in effect in these games, so you have to be hyperactive. You have to be proactive for seeking for damage. But when you commit to battle, you are more than likely gonna have to finish that battle. Here we have DUBS. He's kind of looking up. He's holding that edit though. He is ready to open it up. I think he's gonna trade fire as soon as Link goes for the shot.
He's
now they're
for
both, they're both playing that little mind game right here. Who's gonna go first now?
New circle, now active.
This is what we like to call a shambles loadout, as Link doesn't have much loot.
No, doesn't have much loot, doesn't have much HP either. He's gonna have to try again in the next game. It's DUBS, who does manage to get the better. Oh man, this is intense. Now we're at 62 players remaining. Some players taking fights, others really just focusing on staying alive, staying in this one to the placement points.
That's right, and now we have Leshy back with Leshy. We saw him in Neo Tilted, taking out the likes of Keemstar, Astonished in these 1v1 battles. Clearly not afraid to jump in your box. And oh man, with a loadout like this, 6 shockwaves, 3 launch pads, all the ammunition in the world, and zone favor right now. He is looking very good in game 3 right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of builds. He's got tons of stuff to work with. No reason why Leshy can't make it to that end game. This is going to be interesting. Controller player. Let's not forget yesterday, Wolfie's controller player getting 2nd place during the Fortnite World Cup Duos competition, along with his teammate Rojo. Here's Leshy though, applying the pressure. With that shockwave nade, he gets right on top of a nice spot, nice position, kind of planning himself, understanding a player's going to be around there, but now all these players looking right at him as he just has to play defense. No choice. Gets tagged up a little bit, loses some of his shields. He'll be okay for the time being.
The amount of players you see on the stadium side that once he's shown his self to that angle right there, and everyone just collapsed on him. That is so scary. And it's still coming in, but he's fending himself off, punishing another player off to the east side right there. Here's Leshy. If he can figure out that that player is the same one that just tried to make a move on him, could spell disaster for Evilmare.
Evilmare doesn't have much to work with regarding health, right? He's sitting at just above half HP. Right above him is going to be Clash. Got Peasus as well, down low on the flooring. There's Clash. Good loadout as far as weaponry is concerned. Also has that glider with the HP that he has currently. Ugh. Might want to take advantage of a shadow bomb or something like that rather than exposing yourself to the sky. But this is another play from earlier on, I believe. Or actually, no, Storm Surge active currently, and we are in live. Apologies there.
So he's sitting on 2 ballers here. You see one here. He knows this opponent's gonna have to go for one, but I guess a little bit of scouting there is gonna realize someone's waiting, baiting all of the loot as well.
Also off screen, Leshy did take out Evilmare. You mentioned that before, Monster. Ended up happening. And then Storm now, 65 HP. Where is this player that went in for the fight?
It's Wakey. Wakey's right nearby. Storm and Wakey are sitting now in the zone here. Biding time here. Wakey, 3 eliminations, tied up for the most elims in the game so far. You have Wakey, Leshy, and Aspect, all at 3 eliminations so far.
Just under 50 players remaining in game number 3. Players have boxed up. They want to play this slow game. Wait for anyone to make a mistake. It's going to be hard, but for some players like DUBS, they're going to need it. Because thus far, it has not gone well for, I would say, one of the favorites here.
DUBS did go for the shot. Unfortunately, could not connect. It looks like Clarity's going to pick up Core Gaming there instead. DUBS, we saw in the previous game, do that baller all the way to the end game.
Yep.
Really playing slow and methodical here. You can't stand still. DUBS has definitely found himself a target nearby.
You see some, I think they're just looking at each other. They know exactly what's going on. Circle's going to be closing down now. We're going to find out where the next one is. And that's when players start to prioritize these rotations, the movement. DUBS does have a baller. Has been his strategy. He did it in game 2. He had the ball pretty much all the way until the end there. Got shot out of it. But it did bring him to a second place finish. Another top 3 finish for him, top 5, top 3, maybe even a victory royale, right? But ideally that,
He tried to catch him right there. You saw that? Wild. He wanted to put him in the box for a second there and take it.
Trapped him right there. Player will have no idea what to do at that moment.
It's actually pretty interesting as well because Class is desperate right now for an Elam. He has to really feed off of a siphon. He doesn't have any other way to heal. Even taking the safety edits, making doorways so that he doesn't expose himself even for the slightest bit.
84 builds left for Class. Tons of builds here. And then the Storm. Now the Storm's starting to push. Look at Lecce, still going for shots as players are moving about. I think I saw a player get right in his face. He did pop that shadow bomb. Now we're going to the game 1 winner, Bugha. He's dealt 420 damage in this match. Hasn't taken a single shot. 1 elimination for him right now. As now the action feed begins to fall. You see so many names getting eliminated one by one. Bizzle out of this one. That was from Lecce, who's having one heck of a game, taking out some big names.
It is really going down right here. You can just kind of breathe in this overhead view right here. Man. Bella EU doesn't even realize he has the high ground right now. Clarity G just nearby as well. Bugha at the upper layers in this end game, just trying to avoid that lower ground congestion. Yeah. All these players are just slammed in the middle right here. As Andretta gets the high ground. We haven't seen much of Andretta so far. But you gotta be careful. Those shockwaves will really sting and take that placement from you.
Yeah, he has been laying low so far, but does manage to maintain the high ground. Lost it for a brief moment, but wisely enough went outside of the Storm to regain some of those builds. On the right side of your screen, you got Bugha and Lecce. Lecce, a great game that he's managed to put together with 5 eliminations. Bugha, your game 1 winner, maybe looking to get a second win on the board. How massive will that be for your current first place player?
Lecce just picked up his 6th elimination now. He is really popping off right here.
On Hoodjay too, a big player there and a big connection for him. Lots of builds to work with. Bugha does get another one. That's Kinzel.
Right through the trap he goes. Bugha, one of the superior box fighters in the Fortnite competitive scene right now.
Lecce went up for the high ground. If you see it on the left side, he went high ground. He does get possession of it, but ends up getting hit there by Andretta and finally eliminated. But what a run Lecce had in this game. Finally comes to a conclusion when he went for high ground. Now it's Bugha. Again, with 11 players remaining, we're about to get into the top 10 here, Monster.
Bugha, last we saw, he does get taken out right there. Unfortunately, it's Peter Pan who takes him out with 6 eliminations. Peter Pan, the dark horse right now. He's gonna get wiped out here too, but it's still a great game. Wakey, who we saw leading in eliminations at one point, is still popping off as well.
Skyte's in this one as well. Maybe he's gonna get a back-to-back win. Riversan, he's got the high ground, he's got the explodes, he sees players, he has 11 builds, so he has to be very conservative with this. Does pop that player in the baller, forcing them down. Going in for the engagement now. More explodes, 5 remaining left. Player lands in front of him, and he tags him up for a lot of shields there, and Riversan has to reset, needs to be careful not to get hit by that Storm. Someone's gonna be above him!
He's too good!
An elimination onto Skyte. We're now sitting at a 1v1. 2 players left standing here. Who's it gonna be down low? It's DUBS! It's DUBS down low! And Riversan has DUBS on his site! Who's gonna get the win here? Riversan navigating, tarping. He has 7 builds remaining. DUBS trying to play defense, giving himself any kind of cover that he can possibly maintain. But Riversan, a few more explodes remaining. That could punish DUBS.
He's really trying to keep him down to the zone here, Golden Boy.
Oh man, this is it. He sends another one out, and they're just telling him he gotta run. He goes into it. He's still holding position. DUBS has the high ground, but he gets in front of him, and DUBS gets a victory royale on the world stage.
Absolutely incredible for DUBS to connect. Finally hits all of his shots, and nearly a back-to-back performance right there. That is the kind of comeback story you want to see here on the main stage.
Prove to the world that you're the greatest to ever do it. But you gotta give credit to Riversan. Second place finish for him there. Had the high ground, had the explodes, but it was DUBS who managed to get the better of Riversan. And look at this unfold right here. Riversan had the Rockets looking right at DUBS, and DUBS just needed to play defense. Riversan had no more builds to work with, and DUBS recognized he had the high ground. He just needed to go in there for the clothesline, and he nails it with that green pump.
That is the name of the game. You cannot miss your shots when you fully commit. DUBS and Mega sitting side by side. What a better player to have nearby you. Arguably probably his best friend right here in the competition.
Hey man, that was nuts. What a game from DUBS. And what a journey he's had. 4-time qualified. We know that he is a unit when it comes to solos. Finally getting that win. So second place in game 2. Game 3 gets first place. He has to be feeling very good about that.
That is the kind of performance he was looking for, and it must feel good to finally solidify a victory over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, it's just a load off your shoulders, man. Honestly, because I've been talking to him quite a bit, and he's like, I just want to get this win. Now with that, DUBS goes up to third place. At the top, though, Skype, he managed to make it to the end game, as well as Booga. So, our 3 winners, 1, 2, and 3, in the order of which
they took their victories.
Game
yes.
1 was Booga, Game 2 was Skype, and Game 3 was DUBS. 19 points, 1 point shy of taking second, and Booga, way to hold on to that positioning at the top of the mountain.
King is still here too, as is Psalm, as is Commandment. They've all been in the running, but that was a great fight to see the West and the East clash in those final moments.
I love it, man. I love it. Another, we look here at 11th through 20th. Epic Whale, Fwexy, and Issa all managed to get up in the standings here, as well as Left Eye and Wakey. Oh, what a game that was. Game 3 did not disappoint, but I did get word that we have DUBS standing by with Jordan Fisher to get his thoughts on that win.
A massive, massive victory royale for DUBS here, a definite crowd favorite. A lot of people really excited to see you play today. 2 games in a row, 1v1 situations. Obviously, you're playing for placement here, and we're seeing this action happen in real time. Your baller maneuverability, you're staying in the baller for so long, obviously helped you win that right there at the end. Yo, the Rockets are coming down on you hard. What are you thinking in this moment? You're trying to get high ground. What's going on?
Last game, I was just purely playing for placement and try to hold out in the ball, and it worked.
Obviously, we got that victory. Okay, going into these next matches, you're sitting in a pretty great position right now, if I do say so myself. What are you thinking? What strategy going into this right now?
I'm just going to keep trying to play consistent, and I should be good.
Golden Boy, Monster D-Face, it's feeling amazing down here. How's it feeling up there?
I think the feeling's mutual, my friend, because these have been excellent games. I love duos, right? You and I, we talk about all the time, right? We love casting duos. But there's just something special about when it's just you, the game, solos, competition, the way Battle Royale was meant. Dare I say, to quote Dr. Lupo, the ultimate Battle Royale experience.
There's just no room for error in solos. There's no, buddy there, no battle buddy to come pick you up when you get dropped, when you get sniped for making an error. You cannot make a mistake. And we saw this sign earlier today. That Dr. Lupo is not old.
He's not old.
Hey, dad fam out there.
He's just a little elderly. That's all it is. As am I. So, what a game that was. And I understand, though, we actually have Cam standing by with a special announcement. Sundown, what's up?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Golden Boy and Monster. And while we're here in the midst of the largest Fortnite event in history, you're probably wondering what comes next. Well, as we said before, competitive Fortnite isn't going anywhere. Once Season 9 wraps up and we move into our next season, we'll be debuting the Fortnite Championship Series. This will give players a chance to compete against the best of the best, where every single result matters, with a leaderboard to track results over the course of the season. Follow your favorite players on their quest to become the first season champions with millions of dollars at stake. Now, this is just a taste of what's to come, as we also plan on stepping up our competitive efforts across the board. So keep your eyes peeled for more news as you root on your favorite competitors in the back half of the matches. Golden Boy, Monster, back to you, gentlemen.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't even know that was coming. Oh, look at you. That was pretty dope. Fortnite Championship Series?
Can I just say, did you hear that? Every placement matters. Wait, is this something you guys have been wanting or something like that? I don't know.
This is awesome stuff there. It's obviously not going to stop, and we're glad that that is the case. But focusing on what's at hand right now, Fortnite World Cup Finals here in New York City, and just a reset here. I'm Golden Boy along with Monster D-Face, and this has been quite the day. 3 games so far, did not disappoint. In Game 1, we ended up seeing a huge victory from Booga, who managed to pull it away in glorious fashion. And then Skype in game number 2, just outpositioning DUBS. But DUBS got his redemption and picked up a Game 3 win just now. He said with Jordan that he wanted to remain consistent. He's been playing the baller play. There's a lot of strategies that players can implement here in competitive Fortnite, Monster.
Yeah, you saw DUBS Game 1 tried to get a little bit more aggressive, opting in to take that fight over by the Greasy Lake, and it did not pay off. So he took his lesson, took his little, spanking, I dare say, right there. He said, all right, you know what? I'm just going to stay away from that guy. You got to respect him on that rotation. He switched it up, and now he's finding himself in endgame. And that is the kind of adaptability you have to have as a Fortnite professional.
Yeah, it's necessary. 4-time qualified solo player is DUBS. And what I mean by that, when he qualified the first time for this event right here, he queued up again. Each week the solos competition was available.
Did again.
And did it again. And then did it again, and then did it again. That's how good he was. Everyone doubted him. No one knew who this kid was. And then he shocks the world. That, my friend, is undisputed. But the next game is going to start up. Game 4 about to begin. New York City, come on, let me hear you. It's about to start. It's about to kick off. These players need your energy. The